So I've just come into possession of what I believe to be is might be the worst blender of all time. It's called the Hamilton Beach. I don't remember the number. But yeah, let's take it for a test run and see how it works. So I'm just gonna put in some spinach into this blender, and I just want to prove to you guys that the blade does spin. So when I push this, it is connected. I also want to show you that. All right, I'm gonna put the spinach in the blender, right? And this is, this is just a leaf, right? This is just normal spinach. And you would think like, okay, I'm putting the spinach in this blender. And so when I push, there's some options here. We can go with smoothie, maybe because I want to try making this spinach smoothie, right? So I'm gonna put the cap on. I'm gonna put the, put the cap on. And yeah, let's see what happens when I press smoothie. All right, so in case you didn't catch that, nothing has happened. All the spinach is in the exact same state as the pre-blended spinach. Let me just take a close-up of the pre-blended spinach here. And so I first saw this and I was like, all right, maybe I'm just using the blender wrong and I need to add some water, and people can't just blend raw vegetables like that. Maybe, I don't know, the water will help the physics of the blending or something, I don't know. But I'm just gonna pour a cup of water in here. I add some water, I'm gonna put the cap back on. Gonna put the, it's very hard to do with one hand. Usually I do it with a team of 3 or 4 people. Okay, yeah, I think the cap is on now. And then, yeah, with the water now, let's try going with, let's do milkshake this time. All right, maybe, I've seen sometimes in smoothie stores, they kind of like press, they press the vegetables into the blade. They didn't give me a pressing device, but maybe that's what you need to do with this. Maybe this is kind of, this hole isn't for that, but we can try it out and experiment. So I have a spatula here that I'm gonna use as a pressing device. And normally I would be a little bit worried about, the blades hitting this, but I'm actually very skeptical of whether there are blades here at all and whether the smoothie is just one large optical illusion. So I'm just gonna go for it now. Let me just take the... Actually, like, I do have to give some credit to Hamilton Beach because they did innovate on these military grade blender lids. So when you put it on, it's extremely hard to take off. And this is good because, if your blender is just like, I don't know what you're blending, but it's just like throwing liquid everywhere, this will never come off and liquid is not going to escape the seal. The only problem with this blender is that the liquid doesn't fucking move, and so this is pretty much useless. There's kind of this sweet spot where if you can get like the resonance perfectly. I've also found it helpful if you just want to go in with some scissors and just, kind of prime the spinach a little bit, just to make it a little easier on the blender. Honestly impressed by this. Like, how is it possible? There are spinning steel blades in there, but somehow it just passes through the spinach like it's a ghost. So yeah, in conclusion, this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. But the worst part is I have 2 of them and they're the same. I got this one from Amazon. This one was refurbished. I think it was like $20. But this part was broken. So like, messed up here, right? This came broken, so you would put water in this thing and it would just kind of fall out. But I should have just taken that as a sign from God that I should just buy a NutriBullet like a normal person. But I was like, this is half the price. How hard can it be to make a blender, right? I just need to push a button and the blade spin and it cuts stuff up. I didn't know that it would be like this.